Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Alumni Field for the WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan softball hosting Rutgers Scarlet Knights for the first of a three-game series this weekend, the final regular season series of the season for the Wolverines. Wolverines looking to clinch their 19th Big Ten regular season title. They can do so with a sweep this weekend. And, of course, I'm Zach Shaw. Joining me in the booth today will be Morris Fabry. And, Mo, we've watched softball win Big Ten titles really since we were kids, since we were children. They've won several in a row. Does it get old, or do you think this weekend it's a sellout and it's a pink out, but are they still want that regular season title?
Oh, absolutely, Zach. I don't think that this softball experience at Alumni Field will ever get old. I don't think winning ever gets old for these players, especially not for Carol Hutchins, who is already the winningest coach in NCAA softball history, but still has that same drive that she had when she started in the coaching business. I think these players are as driven as they ever have been and have been able to win as many games in a row as they have because they're able to consistently get up for every game and put on for their fans, who are some of the best in the nation.
For the 21 years that I've been on this planet Earth, Michigan softball has won 18 Big Ten titles. They've won 8 in a row, at least a share of it. Looking to do so this weekend. Right now, they're on top of the Big Ten standings with an 18-2 record. Minnesota, the only competition, at 16-3. And tonight, the Wolverines will be taking on Rutgers. Rutgers went 29-20 last season. This season, they're a little behind that pace. They're 24-29, 8-12 in Big Ten play. Mo, just from on paper, what can we expect to see from Rutgers tonight?
Well, Rutgers has got a strong start to their lineup in Stephanie Wong and Jordan Whitley, but behind that, they don't have the same kind of consistency throughout the lineup that some of the better opponents in the Big Ten have had when facing Michigan this year. And I think we should expect some rough sledding against Megan Betza, who's really turned it on as of late. Her ERA has been steadily dropping throughout the year. She's still the strikeout artist that she was last year, and she is just a handful for any opposing lineup to deal with.
Yeah, Betza coming in with a 215 earned run average, a 20-3 record, and in 133 and one-third innings pitched, she has 219 strikeouts. So certainly a force to be reckoned with, one of the premier in the nation, and her first opponent's going to be Stephanie Wong. Stephanie Wong, the second baseman, batting left-handed, as you said, one of the premier players for the Scarlet Knights, actually leads the Big Ten in base hits, and she also has a 374 batting average to boot. Betza comes to a set in the circle, winds up, delivers that first pitch. Swing and a miss. Looks like she might have gotten a tip on it, but nonetheless, strike one.
Overpowering speed to Wong, who doesn't look like she has a very powerful swing. The infield playing very far in at the corners, maybe just respecting her speed, but she doesn't seem to have the slap-hitting style that would induce infields to play in.
Betza prepares for the 0-1 delivery. That ball's fouled back into the backstop behind home plate. And as you said, she leads the Big Ten in 64 hits, but only looks like 11 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. And for the star player, that might not cut it as far as a power standpoint.
Yeah, not a lot of extra base pop, but certainly the ability to get on base.
Betza readies the 0-2 pitch, winds up, delivers, tried to get Wong chasing, no good as it bites off the plate. Make the count 1-2.
A lot of juice coming out of the right hand of Megan Betza, never afraid to challenge hitters with the speed. Sometimes that does backfire. She's given up her fair share of home runs this year.
Betza readies the 1-2 pitch. That one's high, even the count at 2. For the defense, for the Wolverines, it's going to be Christner in left, Lawrence in right, Susala in right, Christner in left field, Montemorano at third, Ramirez at shortstop, Romero at second, Blanco at first, and, of course, Aiden Falk behind the plate. Usual suspects. Betza with the 2-2 pitch. Got her swinging. Strike 3. And Betza gets things started by striking out Rutgers' best hitter.
First 4 pitches, power from Betza, trying to blow away Wong. Set her up for that beautiful breaking ball. Caught the outside half of the plate, and Wong had to be looking speed at that point, was totally off balance.
Next for Rutgers will be Jordan Whitley. The senior third baseman enters the at-bat with a 338 batting average. Like Wong, she has played and started in all 53 of Rutgers games. That first pitch, high, 1-0 count.
Your umpires today, Megan Rabin behind the plate at first base, Leah Bowen, and at third base, Sue Sawyer.
The 1-0 pitch is fouled toward Michigan's dugout on the first base side. Even the count at 1. Nobody on, 1 out. Rutgers trying to make some noise against the heavy favorites, which is the Wolverines. Wolverines enter this contest with a 41-4 record. Looks like there might have been a typo on our score sheet. 41-1 would be quite the record. Nonetheless, Betza with the 1-1 pitch. That's high. Whitley thought about chasing, but held back and is rewarded with ball 2. 2-1 count.
Yeah, maybe the people in charge here at Alumni Field trying to excise a couple of the losses that Michigan has suffered. Haven't been many, but they've been there.
The 2-1 pitch low. 3-1 count on Whitley. Yeah, and you can tell your team's good when it's, they have to have long team meetings after every loss because they're just so few and far between. Michigan hasn't lost since April 8th. So looking to continue that streak, and odds-on favorites to do so. Betza with a 3-1 pitch. That's going to be ball 4. Whitley reaches base. It's going to be her 17th walk of the season. So Rutgers, after striking out, gets a runner on. 1 on, 1 out for the Scarlet Knights. And that brings up Sierra Maddox, sophomore designated player, 277 batting average, leads the team with 9 home runs. That's his first pitch outside, so that's, I believe, 5 straight balls for her, maybe 4 straight. But nonetheless, trying to find her control.
Maddox, a bit of a strange stance. She's almost totally upright in the righty batter's box, holds the bat. Not a lot of movement at all as she awaits.
The 1-0 pitch shoots way early on that one. Big swing and a miss. Maddox has a, as you said, interesting stance, but powerful swing. Reminds me of, the baseball sluggers. They have that home run swing, kind of swinging for the fences. Nonetheless, big whiff there. 1-1 count. Maddox flashed the bunt before pulling back. She got ahead of that one too. 1-2 count.
Yeah, obviously able to lock into hitting position very quickly and just whips those wrists through the zone. Seems like every pitch she's swinging hit it beyond the 222 out there in center field.
That's with the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her swinging. That one is low. It looked like Maddox got a little too eager. And Betza doing a nice job. Looked like almost all change-ups or breaking balls there. Really mixing it up after that first at-bat where she got Wong on mostly power pitches.
Yeah, sometimes power hitters come up to the plate really with the mentality that they're trying to attack the pitchers, challenge the pitchers, and Betza just did not give in, didn't give Maddox anything to hit.
That brings up Melanie Slawinski. That pitch gets away from Falk. So Whitley will advance to second base round and stay there. Looks like Falk fell in the backstop behind her. No other harm other than the initial base that Whitley got.
Yeah, she ran into the backstop, maybe lost her footing. The dirt can be slippery, especially as it turns into cement. Fortunately, Whitley not looking to take 3 because she could have. Falk was lying on her back with not a lot of help around her.
That pitch was also a ball on Melanie Slawinski, senior shortstop. 289 batting average on the season. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, and she did not go. So that'll be ball 2, 2-0 count. And Rutgers starting to threaten a little bit after that initial strikeout of their best player, Wong. Whitley now at second base, 2 outs, but Slawinski working with a 2-0 count.
Leah Bowen now standing behind the second baseman, Romero. Maybe not as good of a view as if she were down the first base line.
Betza with the pitch that one's fouled. To the backstop behind, 2-1 count. 1 on, 2 outs for Rutgers.
That's a one breaking ball on the 2-0 count. She's got supreme confidence in every one of her pitches in every situation. It does lead her to be a bit walk prone. She has issued now 79 walks on the year, but also gives her the strikeouts.
2-1 pitch high. Slawinski thought long and hard about it, but pulled back to make it a 3-1 count. Outfield playing about normal, slightly deeper. Kind of perhaps trying to track down any of those long fly balls if they can. Betza with the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be ball 4. So Rutgers now has 2 on as Falk heads out to talk to Betza, calm her down as she has now issued her 79th and 80th walks on the season. So it's not a bad rate, but certainly higher than you want for someone with such power and dominance on the mound.
Yeah, certainly higher than pretty much every pitcher that I've seen this year who is who is worth their salt, who has the kind of ERA that Betsa does. It's impressive that she's been able to manage a 2.15 ERA. In part, that can be attributed to the 156 batting average against her. Even if hitters put it in play, she's got a superb defense behind her. But at the same time, a lot of her wounds that she has suffered as a pitcher are self-inflicted. And you mentioned how far in this defense played. Certainly, it is due to the fact that Michigan doesn't face a ton of power hitters the same caliber as the ones they have in their own lineup. But also, this outfield is confident that they can cover the ground. They can cut off those extra base hits. And by and large, they have been proven right throughout this season.
Next up for Rutgers will be Elizabeth Adams, the senior catcher, comes in with a 270 batting average. Betsa looking to rein things back in. First pitch is a strike. So that's about what you want after you walk 2 batters. Get a strike coming back after the mound visit. But yeah, it's about 4 walks per start is an average for Betsa. She's made 21 starts, 80 walks now. So something she'll continue to work on. The 0-1 pitch, that one's high. Good stop by Falk because it was over her head.
That was a pretty nice math, Shaw. I wouldn't have been able to.
Well,
I wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
They didn't give me that Michigan diploma for nothing, so. Betsa, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And so Betsa now 1 pitch away from getting out of the first inning rally that Rutgers has started to put on. Betsa with a 156 batting average against. So despite the walks, she's not giving up a lot of hits. So as you said, the success speaks for itself. She'll be regarded as one of the nation's best pitchers by the end of the season. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled. Right into Falk's padding.
Betsa went back with the breaking ball there.
Yeah, good pitch.
That previous swing, the flags, especially the one in center field, have been waving in many directions. First going directly in, then out toward right. But I could feel the breeze from that swing and miss on the
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Adams goes down swinging. Betsa gets 3 strikeouts in the first inning. 2 walks mean nothing when you can strike them all out. And Michigan will head to the dugout. Their turn to bat. Score 0-0. You're listening to the WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan softball. Zach Shaw joined by Morris Fabry here today. And it's a pink out and a sellout. Obviously ties to yesterday, the Michigan Softball Academy, which is a nice fundraiser, seemed to be a successful event, raised $151,000. I guess, what was your take on the whole ordeal?
Well, I think they might have had to sell our other radio board in order to raise some extra money or something, because we couldn't find that when we showed it today. But that being aside, I think it's a great event. Anything that can raise that kind of money for charity is a good thing. And, raising awareness for the game of softball, the sport of softball, especially here at Michigan, is also a positive endeavor because it's just such a great experience throughout the season. And these girls deserve all the attention they get and more.
Yeah, we talked about, I guess, the rise of women's softball yesterday on the Daily Sports Report, which you can listen to Monday through Thursday from 6 to 6:30 at 88.3 FM, our FM station. But obviously, Miss Abbott getting the first $1 million contract in national professional fast pitch softball, big step. And the softball ratings continue to rise. The professional league will have 6 games on ESPN2 this summer, so we'll watch it continue to rise, and we'll watch Michigan try to rise to success, trying to clinch a Big Ten title, their first at-bats.
Got to get the segues. Got to get the segues down.
Absolutely. Pitching for Rutgers will be Aubrey Levine, who has a .543 batting average, 17 appearances, just 7 starts, 1-5 record, batting average against of .341. And it'll be the usual suspects for the Wolverines batting: Sierra Lawrence, Sierra Romero, Kelly Christner, Tara Blanco, so on and so forth. Starting off for the Wolverines will be Lawrence, who comes in with a .430 batting average. Appeared in all 45 games for the Wolverines this season. First pitch from Levine, low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, that batting average has seen an uptick for Sierra Lawrence. I think the last time I saw her during that home series against Maryland, her average was hovering around the 400 mark. So clearly she has been doing some work on the road.
1-0 pitch, also low and away. 2-0 count on Lawrence. Probably not the start Levine was looking for. Don't want to be behind on hitters such as Sierra Lawrence and Sierra Romero. Nonetheless, Levine with the 2-0 pitch, also low and away. And we have a side angle, but those don't look too far off. Just not to Sierra Lawrence's liking or the umpires.
Lawrence has got power to all fields, but is especially potent when pulling the ball.
That one's in there for a strike, so 3-1 count on Lawrence. Lawrence has 10 home runs this season. 719 slugging percentage.
And she is hitting .583 when leading off innings.
The 3-1 pitch. It's going to be outside, ball 4, so Sierra Lawrence gets on with a leadoff walk. That'll bring up someone that most Michigan fans, whether they follow softball or not, have heard of at this point, Sierra Romero. Potential Player of the Year favorite, certainly All-American, on track to do so. Comes in with a .480 batting average and 13 home runs. Levine winds up for the first pitch, low and away, so 5 of her first 6 pitches have been balls.
Yeah, the catcher Adams tried to frame that on the outside edge, but in order to get those borderline calls, you got to earn the benefit of the doubt, and Levine has not been pounding the strike zone thus far.
1-0 pitch, the bunt attempt by Romero. Levine will pick it up and throw it, but Romero makes it there in time. Wong came over to cover from second base, but Romero obviously has a lot of speed, 13 of 14 in stolen bases this year. She makes it, so no more for her power, but she mixes it up, lays down a bunt, and finds herself on first base.
Levine double clutched. Wong, I think, was going to get to first base in time, but even if Levine were to throw it the first time that she looked over there rather than double clutching, I still think Romero might have had the speed to beat that one out. Romero, in addition to being the best hitter on the team and perhaps in the nation, may also be the best bunter on this softball team.
That brings up Kelly Christner, who, after slumping early on in the season, has climbed her batting average to .308, 6 home runs, slew of extra base hits, just as just about everyone in this lineup has. She'll have an opportunity to pick up a couple RBIs here. First pitch outside, ball 1. Sierra's on first and second. Levine, the 1-0 delivery, that's also low. And if there's one thing you don't want to do if you're Rutgers is run into control issues against Michigan. It's just, given how well they can hit, already putting yourself in a hole if you can't find the strike zone. Levine with the 2-0 pitch. That one looked good from up here, but that's going to be called ball 3, as you said. Levine not getting any benefits of the doubt at this point.
Yeah, you'll rarely see Michigan hitters swing on 3-0. We'll see if Christner moves to the back of the batter's box. It's an indication that she will be taking.
It appears to be so. That pitch, strike, late call by the umpire. But 3-1 counts on Christner.
Christner with a ton of pop. You don't want to put her on base via the free pass because Susala and Blanco will murder you with runners on base.
Your words, not mine. Christner lays it. It breaks away into right field. Todd bobbles the fielding, so Lawrence comes around to score, and Romero makes it to third. Looks like they were waiting to see how the right fielder Todd did. She bobbled it. Romero advances. Christner's on second, and Michigan leads 1-0 off the bat of Kelly Christner.
That one may be a play that could have been made by Adriana Burkar over at first base, but it was hit with such velocity on it. It was such a tough play that it just whistled by her. And then out in right field, Todd maybe should have gotten that into the infield a little quicker, but I think we're seeing runners on second and third regardless of how she handles it.
And apparently, Romero tripped at second base. We'll try to get a replay look on it, but that's why she didn't come around to score on Todd's misplay. But nonetheless, Michigan will have a chance to get at least one more run here as Kelsey Susala, the former walk-on, steps up to the plate. She has a .352 batting average and 10 home runs. Watches the first 2 pitches, both balls at both outside. Levine really struggling with her control early. 2-0 count on Susala.
You can understand her not wanting to mess around with the inside part of the plate because if you miss off of that inside edge and more over the plate, the ball's going to travel a long way.
Third pitch, also a ball, so a 3-0 count on Susala. Susala, .352 batting average, .349 with runners in scoring position. Obviously, Michigan has runners in scoring position a lot, but certainly comfort level the same. And we're going to have a break in the action as Elizabeth Adams went to go talk to Aubrey Levine, probably to just calm her down. Although there is a free base and the cleanup hitter is up, so perhaps we could see ball 4 here. We'll see what they do. Levine with the 3-0 delivery. And that's going to be outside, so whether it was intentional or not, Susala gets on base with a walk, loads the bases for Terra Blanco.
I want to see Blanco's average with the bases loaded. It's going to pop up on our stat sheet pretty soon, but my sense is that she is probably in the 700. Okay, 667 with the bases loaded this year. Blanco gets it done. This is not the hitter you want to see at the plate right now.
667. Well, I hate to cut you off, but 667 with the bases loaded.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, absolutely. Tied for the team lead with 11 doubles. Also has 8 home runs and 52 RBIs. Second on the team only to none other than Sierra Romero, who's on third base. Romero on third, Christner on second. Susala on first, Blanco at the plate, trying to break this game open. Outfield playing just a couple steps shy of the warning track all across the board.
As far as raw power, Blanco might have the most of anyone on the team.
Levine's first pitch, a floater. That one's going to be low, ball 1.
And that includes Sierra Romero, just for the record.
Okay. So struggles continue for Levine, visibly frustrated out on the mound, pounding the ball into her glove. The 1-0 pitch on Blanco, also low. 2-0 count, so even after the brief mound visit, not a lot of improvement yet from Levine. His .543 batting average may blossom here. Third pitch of the at-bat. Looks good for a bit, but dipped low. 3-0 count on Blanco, so Levine 1 pitch away from walking in a run with the bases loaded.
Levine, Rutgers' least utilized pitcher on the year, has walked almost 2/3 of a batter per inning.
There's Mo with the math. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike.
If I were better at math, I could have extrapolated that into something a little more useful. But
I thought it was useful. It shows that
she's rather walk prone, I should say.
So it brings up the question, though, why is she starting against one of the best teams in the country? 3-1 pitch in there, strike 2. So it's going to be a full count. Still nobody out for the Wolverines. Michigan up 1-0. Looks like Rutgers may have some action in the bullpen. Saw a few players running around. Could have just been something else. The full count pitch, that one's driven high and deep. Looks like it's going to get caught. And Burkhar able to get the catch. No throw home as Romero advances on a sacrifice fly. So Michigan leads 2-0 already on Rutgers' first out of the inning, but it does drive in a run. And now Michigan has runners at the corners, leading 2-0.
Kudos to Levine fighting back from a 3-0 count and not letting Blanco totally square one up and crush it somewhere. The sac fly will get the job done in this situation. Blanco will probably be a little disappointed with herself. But, you know, in the end, I'd say that's like a net neutral for both teams.
Yeah, Rutgers may be interested in trading outs for runs even this early in the game. Levine quick to return to the action. She'll go up against Aiden Falk. Aiden Falk only 36 starts this season. Comes in as a catcher tonight. 302 batting average. 14 extra base hits. 30 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch also low. And I guess, you know, we have a tough vantage point, but is this a fair assessment? Are these balls, they seem like they're certainly hittable, but
I think they're missing the zone just ever so slightly. I don't think that home plate ump, Megan Rabin, is calling a bad game. With runners at the corners, Carol Hutchins loves to go with the delayed steal. I think we're going to see one here.
Falk with the bunt attempt, and it looks like a bit of a delayed steal. As Susala gets into a rundown, she'll be safe at second. So runners at second and third. Christner declines to go home, and Rutgers just focusing on getting the runner, but they can't even do that. Susala advances second safely, and it's now a 2-1 count.
It's almost like I've watched this team before, Zach.
Fair enough, fair enough. Aiden Falk hitting .349 with runners in scoring position. Faces a 2-1 count. Levine kicks back for the delivery. That one's also low, 3-1 count. And I don't think she's gone less than 3 balls on a hitter all game.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I think every ball that's been put in play has been done so on a 3-1, 3-2 count.
The 3-1 pitch, going to be ball 4. So Falk loads the bases up again. That'll bring up Faith Canfield, the lone freshman playing. Just one of 3 underclassmen playing for the Wolverines. Canfield started the season not playing so much, worked her way into the rotation. In 22 starts in 33 games, she has a .315 batting average. She'll have an opportunity to add to her runs batted in total here. With the bases loaded, just 1 out.
Canfield with a 0 batting average with the bases loaded. One can only assume not too many at-bats in that
small
sample size.
First pitch, a ball. Second pitch, also a ball. 2-0 count. So Canfield becomes the 7th hitter in 7 times to get ahead of Levine in the count.
Canfield, a lot of power to the whole field. Levine's thrown a lot of off-speed stuff. She should be careful not to hang one here against Canfield.
Canfield waits a pitch. She fouls it to the backstop behind her. Make it a 2-1 count. Outfield not playing quite as deep, but still trying to corral it in case Canfield does showcase a little bit of power.
The wind blowing in at the moment from, I'd say, from left center field.
Levine with the 2-1 pitch. That's going to be low. Ball 3. And, man, you want to talk about a stressful situation for Levine and her fellow Scarlet Knights come into a sold-out alumni field to play the #2 team in the country. You just can't find the strike zone.
That was a close pitch, too. I'll give you that one, Zach.
The 3-1 pitch, that's going to be low. Ball 4. So that'll walk in a run. Michigan now leads 3-0. Wolverines keep the bases loaded, keep 1 out. And next up for the Wolverines is Lindsay Montemurano, the 3rd baseman. Comes in with a .315 batting average. 28 RBIs.
I'll tell you, I love that Canfield took a big hack on a 2-0 count there, even with Levine struggling to find the zone. It's just part of the aggressive mentality that pervades through this Michigan softball club. And, you know, with the bases loaded, why not just take a hack? Sure, it might be a better percentage play to take pitches until you see a strike. But Canfield wants to hit. These Michigan hitters want to hit, even if Levine has not given them an opportunity thus far. Looks like it will be a new pitcher in the circle for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, haven't seen a number yet. Number 8.
Looks like Whitney Jones. Jones has appeared in 29 games this season. 12 starts. She's thrown 72 2/3 innings, given up 110 hits, 18 walks, 48 earned runs, and 58 runs. That's a .462 ERA. Opposing hitters hitting .335 against her, and she has not been thrown into the most favorable of situations.
Yeah, and she is a freshman, so the pecking order for her might change as the years progress. Freshman out of Santa Monica, California. And yeah, chalk this one up as a stressful situation for her. Her team already down 3-0, bases loaded. And there's really no easy outs in the Wolverines lineup. Lindsay Montemurano with a .315 batting average.
And I got to say, Montemurano's on-base plus slugging really very high for her batting slot and for her batting average. Adept at drawing walks, and she's got power to the gaps and to the fences.
.451 batting average. And the first pitch from Jones, low and away.
That's an on-base percentage, but yeah, she
is
very prolific.
Brain fart.
We've all had them. We don't got to use our brains anymore, Zach. We're graduates.
That's what they tell me. 1-0 pitch from Jones on the way. That's going to be a strike. Even the count's at 1. Montemurano, one of the, chemistry leaders of the team, always, starting the new initiative. She was one of the founders of the infamous pizza initiative last season that drove Michigan all the way to the championship game. The 1-1 pitch fouled away by Montemurano. 1-2 count.
It's tough for Monty. She's probably been adjusting in her head to the pitcher on the mound in Levine, and now a new pitcher comes in. And Jones has got a lot more zip on her pitcher. She's pounding the zone more, and it might be a little bit difficult for her to make the adjustment here with runners on in a situation where she's being relied upon.
Jones, as we mentioned, with only one start this season in relief pitch against Montemurano. Grounds it. It's going to be one out. It's going to be safe at first. Slawinski to Wong to Carr, but not in time to get Montemurano. However, Canfield is settled down for the second out of this frame for the Wolverines. But Michigan does get a run. They were going to be up 4-0. And, man, Michigan really just tacks them on. They're very efficient with their scoring. 2 outs, 8 batters have stepped up to the plate. 4 of them have scored, 2 of them are out, 2 of them are on base. So certainly got to like those odds if you're the Wolverines.
Yeah, it was it would have been a tailor-made double play with 90-foot base pads or something. Slawinski and Wong with a great turn up the middle, but Monty hustled down the line, beat out the throw, and it's very difficult to turn a ground ball double play in softball, and the base pads are the reason why. But as you were saying, I watch a lot of Tigers baseball, and Tigers threaten but do not score, TTBDNS, a common Twitter abbreviation, but this Michigan softball team, to contrast, almost always scores when they threaten.
That'll bring up Abby Ramirez, the shortstop. 9-hitter, hitting .364. Got a lot of speed. Also has an on-base percentage of .485. Jones' first pitch, a strike. Second pitch, ground ball by Ramirez. Wong's going to take it herself at second base, and that'll retire the side, but not before the Wolverines score 4 runs to end the first inning. We're through 1, 4-0 Wolverines. You're listening to the WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan softball. First of a 3-game series between the Wolverines and the Scarlet Knights. I'm Zach Shaw, joined by Morris Fabry in the studio, or in the booth, excuse me. We're here live, getting live action. But as we said, Michigan perhaps could win it with one win. The Big Ten title might need all 3. It depends on how Minnesota does. They're 1.5 games ahead of Minnesota. Minnesota's only 16-3, Michigan 18-2. But so far, it looks like it's been par for the course this season for the Wolverines. They're expected to be one of the best teams in the country. They are. They've been at that number 2 spot in the rankings for just about the entire season. Will likely remain there, assuming that they can win these 3 games.
Yeah, it's a real shame, in my opinion, that Michigan hasn't gotten to be tested against the likes of Minnesota. Their toughest test so far had to be when Ohio State came to town. It was a pretty tightly fought series, at least for certain games, but Michigan emerged as the clear victor, swept that series. But I just would love to see either Michigan go to Minnesota or see Minnesota come here to Alumni Field. Alas, we're probably going to have to wait till the Big Ten tournament, if not later, to see those 2 teams face off against each other.
Yeah, and it seems like every year those 2 teams are just the perennial favorites, a 2-horse race in the Big Ten. People thought Ohio State might have a little bit more this season, bring a little bit more to the table, but it looks like it's Michigan and Minnesota once again, and we'll await that Big Ten tournament between the 2 powerhouses of the Midwest, Michigan and Minnesota, both likely tournament teams as well. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. We'll go back to this game ahead of us. Rutgers goes up for its second try at bat. It's going to be Carly Todd, the right fielder, up first, sporting a .226 batting average and a .331 on base percentage.
Its first action on the day was a bit of a flub on a ground ball in right field. It's the only action she's seen thus far.
Megan Betzat back out on the mound. That first pitch is fouled into the backstop
in the circle
behind home plate. Excuse me.
That's
right.
I only do this because I've made that same mistake about 100 times.
Got that baseball mindset. Wolverines baseball team playing Rutgers as well. Maybe they shared flights. And it's going to be 0-0 so far over there at Ray Fisher Stadium. Michigan has a couple more weekends, but they certainly have an outside shot of winning the regular season Big Ten title. It'll be their 36th in 150 seasons. So 2 perennial powers here at the Wilpon Baseball Softball Complex. 1-1 count here at Alumni Field. Todd fouls that one away as well. 1-2 count. Rutgers looking to bounce back after giving up 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning.
Todd with almost a tomahawk chop at that rising fastball to the right hand of Megan Betsy. You've got to make your decision real snap quick when that one's pouring out of Betsy's right hand. And Todd chose unwisely, and a lot of hitters do.
Betsa comes set for the 1-2 pitch. Kicks, fires, delivers. That one's fouled away. Todd reading Betsa's pitches at least fairly well, getting 3 foul balls after several of her counterparts struck out.
I imagine it's better than I could do. I would be interested though to hit against a college softball.
Yeah, give it a try. Embarrass yourself. Go ahead. Be my guest. The 1-2 pitch. That one's high. Todd thought about swinging, pulled back well in time. 2-2 count.
The thing is, it wouldn't even be that embarrassing against, to look like a fool against Megan Betsa, because half the hitters she faces look just as foolish.
Betsa currently leads the nation with 11.5 strikeouts per 7 innings. And she gets another one there. Todd caught looking. So Betsa already has 4 strikeouts in 4 outs in this game. So she's certainly feeling it after those couple early walks. Seems to have settled down.
Just a filthy breaking ball right there, dipping down and in on the knees of Todd. There's just no chance of hitting that.
Either for you or for Todd. For Rutgers, that brings up Nicolette Anico, the freshman left fielder, wearing number 7 tonight, number 2 in the hearts of Rutgers fans. 259 batting average, 21 runs. First pitch fouled away on the third base side. That's it with the 0-1 pitch. That one's high. Anico, bit of a run up there, slap hitter.
Yeah, holds her bat in a way that kind of reminds me of Chuck Knobloch, pointing directly backward, pretty much holding it out from her body.
One of just 2 Scarlet Knights in the starting lineup without an extra base hit. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Nobody on for Rutgers, trailing 4-0 here in front of a sold-out Michigan crowd, most of which is wearing pink. Betsa comes set with the 1-2 pitch. Now it's high. Anico had to duck to get out of the way for it.
You got to make quick reads on Megan Betsa rising fastballs, but that's pretty easy read to make when it's coming not only at your head, but then above it to not lift the bat off your shoulder.
Betsa kicks back the 2-2 pitch. And it looks good from up here. Fans thought it was strike 3. It's going to be ball 3 instead. Full count on Anico.
I think Anico was running out of the batter's box. Maybe home plate ump Raven forgot where the strike zone was because it was in motion there. That looked to me like it dipped down and in. Into the zone, that is.
Betsa with the payoff pitch. That's grounded. Betsa fields it, but she bobbles it. So Anico's going to make the first safely. Going to be an error on Betsa. Looks like she probably could have let that one go to Ramirez, and she would have made a nice play. But nonetheless, Anico makes it to first on Betsa's error.
Yeah, Betsa, as she finishes her follow through, kind of tails off to her left. That was hit against her momentum. She reached out and almost snagged it snow cone style, but as she turned to throw it, fell out of her glove. And unfortunately, that's a base runner for the Scarlet Knights on the first hit of the game for Rutgers, assuming that's not ruled an error. And I think ruling that an error would be pretty cruel to Megan Betsa.
No ruling on the scoreboard yet. We'll stay tuned on that. For now, it's going to be, Bridget Carr, junior first baseman with a 197 batting average, 3 points south of the Mendoza line. She does have some extra base power, though. Of her 15 hits, 5 of them have been for extra bases. 1 on, 1 out for Rutgers. First pitch fouled away, 0-1 count. Carr flashes bunt. Betsa with the 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Don't think Carr actually plans on bunting, perhaps just to mess with Betsa.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of softball hitters do. They hold the bat on in front just to kind of line up the pitch. I guess it is helpful for some of them.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Carr not looking to bunt there. She was looking for the fences and missed a whole lot of everything. Going to be a 1-2 count.
Yeah, good luck lining that one up. 60-plus miles an hour, rising in on the hands. It's going to take a pretty quick swing to get around on that.
Carr waits the 1-2 pitch from Betsa. Looks good from up here. It's going to be ball 2. 2-2 count.
It is a largely pink crowd here today at Alumni Field, but one substantial group not clad in pink. The alumni band is here, and they're up along the third base side bleachers.
The 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. It's going to be a full count, second in a row. As Sierra Romero goes to talk to Megan Betza, perhaps just to tell her to relax. Carr, just the 197 batting average. On base percentage of 259. The payoff pitch, it's going to be strike 3. Got Carr looking, stolen base by Aniko. No throw by Falk. Aniko picks up her 6th stolen base of the season, tied for the team lead. But Carr goes down swinging. Betza gets her 5th strikeout. So there hasn't actually been an out that wasn't a strikeout for Betza.
They still haven't given Rutgers a hit or given Michigan an error for however Aniko got on base.
That brings up Adriana Burkar, freshman center fielder, batting just 145.
On our stat broadcast feed, it says that it was a fielding error by the pitcher. It has not yet been updated on the scoreboard, but I also anticipate that that's something that will be subject to change if Michigan is to yield a solid hit somewhere. Home scorekeepers are exactly that when it comes to college athletics. Can't knock them for it, though, you know.
Oh, you're saying to keep it.
Yeah, you got to keep hits off the board as long as you can.
Michigan playing in the infield for a bunt. Burkar, one of the other Rutgers players with no extra base hits. Outfield playing awfully shallow, closer to the infield than they are to the warning track. Lawrence in center field playing for a pull. Or excuse me, an opposite field hit. Burkar batting in the left-handed batter's box. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled toward Rutgers' dugout. So Burkar seems like she's late on everything right now.
Yeah, looked handcuffed by the overpowering stuff Megan Betza has coming out of her right hand. And, you know, Betza's got 5 strikeouts. Might as well just pound the zone right here with 2 outs.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. It was bouncing, but Burkar went anyway. And Betza strikes out the side once again. 6 strikeouts through 2 innings. And obviously, so far, no hits for the Scarlet Knights. We head to the middle of the 2nd inning. Michigan up 4-0. You're listening to the WCBN Sports Broadcast of Michigan Soft. Shaw and Morris Fabry here. We've been here for about 45 minutes broadcasting. We've been through 3 frames. Michigan trying to tack on to that 4-0 lead. Did you see anything from Jones that suggests they'll be able to do that?
Well, you know, it's tough to say. The second time through the lineup is always some trouble for the pitchers, but fortunately for Jones, she won't really have to deal with that until Montemarano comes around again. It really is kind of a blank slate for these Michigan hitters and for Whitney Jones out there in the circle for the Scarlet Knights. She seems to be attacking the strikes and more, not dealing as many self-inflicted wounds out there on the rubber, but at the same time, with more pitches to hit, maybe this lineup is going to start sending balls flying all over the place with a little more frequency. Michigan still hasn't showcased the power that has made them so fun to watch throughout the year yet. It would be nice, though, if Michigan could add a couple runs, because if there is any inning where Rutgers is going to take off, it is the 3rd inning. On 4 times this season, Rutgers has posted 5 or more runs in the 3rd inning alone. Fun fact handed to us by the I-Team.
And as you said, Michigan really benefiting from Levine's walks more than anything in that 1st inning. They get 4 runs, but only 2 hits, one of which a double, and the other, I suppose, a bunt single by Romero. It'll be the top of the order for the Wolverines. Sierra Lawrence back up to the plate. She got a walk and a run her first time around. Healthy on-base percentage of .563. .589 batting average when she's leading off the inning. Jones winds up. First pitch low and away. And as you said, Jones, a little bit better control. 73 in the 3rd innings pitch, just 18 walks. So for the most part, she'll get it done, but I certainly don't blame her for being careful around these Michigan hitters. The 1-0 pitch, that one's high, 2-0 count.
Yeah, 2nd verse, same as the 1st, though. Jones behind in the count against Sierra Lawrence. And as you said, I think the first 7 Michigan hitters got ahead in the count with 3 ball counts.
Jones with the 2-0 delivery. That one's low and away. Looks like it was closer than the first two, but still ball 3. Lawrence unlikely to swing here. Jones will have to bring it in there if she wants to keep Lawrence off base. 3-0 pitch. It's going to be ball 4. So for the second inning in a row, Sierra Lawrence leads things off with a walk.
Yeah, Lawrence, a fight. You know, it says she's hitting .589 when leading off the inning. I'm pretty sure that number was different in the first inning, so maybe that's non-base percentage I'm reading. Stat broadcast kind of ambiguous as far as that stat goes.
Speaking of stats, they did end up rewarding a hit to Rutgers in the top half of the second inning. Obviously, no runs. They trailed 4-0, but Betsa's no-hit bid appears to be done. She does have 6 strikeouts through 2 innings, though, so certainly well on her way to a gem. Next up for the Wolverines, Sierra Romero. She watches strike 1. Lawrence on first base, 18 for 18 in stolen bases. Second pitch of the at-bat. That's outside to even the count at 1.
Outfield playing back on Romero, but as has been said on multiple broadcasts across multiple outlets, you can't put defenders over the fence.
1-1 pitch is driven. It's high and deep. It looks like that one's going to be gone. Heading towards trees in left center field. Sierra Romero with a 2-run shot. Brings home herself and Sierra Lawrence, making it 6-0 Wolverines here at Alumni Field.
Rutgers certainly could have used a defender or two over that left center field fence. Romero just makes it look, her dominance is routine at this point. She is such a joy to watch, and just found a 1-1 pitch up in the zone. Unfortunately for Whitney Jones, attacking the zone, not going that much better than putting runners on. This lineup will make you pay one way or another.
Sierra Romero gets her team-leading 14th home run of the season. Gets RBIs numbered 65 and 66. It certainly doesn't get too much easier for Rutgers, and Miss Jones, Whitney Jones, having to face Kelly Christner up next, who had a single and an RBI. She sent it to right field last time up. Looking to add to Michigan's lead. First pitch, ball. Second pitch, that one's low. Going to also be a ball. 2-0 count on Christner. Jones' ERA has blossomed. We'll use a nice word there for it's a 4.77. The 2-0 pitch also low. Going to be 3-0 count. So even though her numbers suggest she has a lot more control, still struggling to find the strike zone is Whitney Jones against these Wolverines.
I think ballooned would have been appropriate too. Everybody likes balloons. That's at least a neutral term.
The 3-0 pitch on Christner, going to be ball 4. So Michigan's had 12 batters, and 9 of them have reached base.
Yeah, this is a good day. This is a good day for Michigan softball right now. It's beautiful. The crowd is sold out. Clearly, Michigan has come to play today.
Temperatures are reaching the mid to high 70s earlier today. Sun is just about all you're going to get. No clouds in the sky here at Alumni Field. Beautiful day for softball and baseball. They're playing over there. Their crowd's starting to fill in. First pitch on Kelsey Susala. Going to be a strike. Susala reached base via walk and scored in the last inning. 1 on, nobody out. Michigan already has 2 runs this inning, looking for some more. Second pitch, also a strike. Susala wasn't biting, but it was called a strike. 0-2 count. Probably the first 0-2 count we've seen on Michigan today.
Yeah, you can kind of imagine why she would be hesitant to lift the bat off her shoulder.
The 0-2 pitch from Jones. Looks close. Going to be ball 1. Christner with a big secondary lead, but she stays put. She's 5 of 7 in stolen bases. Susala, the Garden City native, former walk-on, risen to the cleanup hitter. That 1-2 pitch is lofted. It's going to head toward right center field, and that one's off the wall. Christner coming around. She's going to go for home. It looks like she's going to reach safely as the ball's sent to second. So off the bat of Kelsey Susala, nice double off the wall, and Kelly Christner comes around to make it 7-0 Michigan.
Susala with a dab for doubles out there on second base. Found a breaking ball that hung way up in the zone, just below the letters. And, you know, she didn't put her body fully into that swing, just kind of turned on it.
Yeah.
With a flick of the wrist, she sent it about 215 feet off the top of the wall and scores another run for this Wolverines train that keeps on rolling.
Look at the flick of that wrist. Kelsey Susala with her 9th double of the season and her 50th RBI. And that ball's grounded by Tara Blanco. Easy play made by Whitley over to Carr for the first out of the inning. Susala stays put at second, so it'll be 1 out, 1 on for Aiden Falk. Jones earned run average up to 487. We'll call it balloon this time. First pitch on Falk high. Looks like it got away from Jones there. Susala 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Unlikely to go from second to third, especially with their team leading 7-0. Jones with the 1-0 delivery. Falk watches the second pitch of the at-bat and is rewarded with ball 2. 2-0 count.
Going back to Tara Blanco in a bit of a funk, but that funk is only really a funk when measured against the rest of this Michigan lineup.
Their average now below 400. The 2-0 pitch. Now it's driven by Falk. Looks like it's going to be caught, but error by Todd, her second of the game. And Susala expecting a catch, expecting to tag up, unable to come around to score. But runners on second and third for the Wolverines are threatening once again. So nice drive by Falk, but should have been an out most likely. Just an error by Carly Todd. She finds her place at second base.
Yeah, Falk really turned on that one, and Todd, I think, had to fight the sun a little bit. She's wearing the shades.
That's true.
But it was a long run into that corner. Not really sure where the wall was. A tough play, but probably one she should have made.
Well, that brings up Faith Canfield, the freshman. First pitch on Canfield bouncing from Jones. Jones, her ERA now 4.85 for those keeping track. Michigan up 7-0. One base hit away from making it 9. Canfield waves her bat out in front of her. Awaits the pitch from Jones. That one's low. 2-0 count. And with the free base and just given how well Michigan's been hitting, do you almost consider giving her a free pass here?
I mean, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
The 2-0 pitch from Jones. That's driven to first base. Nice play by Carr, able to tag first easily and make sure the runners didn't advance. So it'll be 2 outs. Runners on second and third for the Wolverines. For Lindsay Montemarano. Michigan, of course, up 7-0.
Monty with an RBI, fielder's choice, her first time up with first base open. I kind of expected a walk to Canfield. Fortunately for the Scarlet Knights, they're starting to put things together behind Whitney Jones.
Yeah, they got an out. First pitch on Montemarano, ball 1. Susala on third, Falk on second. Outfield playing typically deep, as they probably will for just about everyone in this Michigan lineup. The 1-0 delivery from Jones fouled back toward the first base side, kind of near us. Even the count at 1.
Monty really looked like she was trying to hit a 3-run shot on that swing. Found a pitch about thigh high. She excels at driving pitches down in the zone, but unfortunately for her, just could not quite connect.
1-1 counts on Montemarano, 2 away. Rutgers trying to end the inning without further damage. That ball is driven by Montemarano. That's going to bring home 1. Looks like it's going to bring home 2 as well. Todd throws it to second base, and now Michigan is up 9-0 on Rutgers off the 2 RBI double from Lindsay Montemarano.
Yeah, Monty just took that pitch where it was with a 2-strike count. I think it was 2. Might have been 1-1.
I think it was 1-1.
It was 1-1. You're right. Anyway, pitch down and away, just went with it to the right side over the head of the first baseman Carr into right field, and took that turn strong, thinking double right out of the box, scoring 2 runs. This Michigan lineup, it's just rolling today.
Michigan has outdone its first inning performance with 5 runs as opposed to 4 in the first inning, but still has a chance to add more. Abby Ramirez steps up to the plate. Montemurano on second. Ramirez batting .316 with runners in scoring position, .343 with 2 outs. First pitch fouled away by Jones. Ramirez, the slap hitter, watches the second pitch of the at-bat, 1-1 count.
Sierra Lawrence awaiting on deck.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for Rutgers.
Michigan has batted around in this inning where they failed to do so back in the first.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Ramirez. Actually, they did. They got all 9 hitters up to the plate because this inning started off with Lawrence. So really, just keep that momentum going. Just bat around every inning. You might run into some good fortune down the road. The 1-2 pitch from Jones. Ground ball to Jones. She fires it right to Carr to make the 3rd out of the inning. So Michigan will head back out to the field, but not before scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We've played 2 here at Alumni Field. Michigan all over the Scarlet Knights. They lead 9-0.
It's a beautiful day for softball. Can't stress it enough. It's about 65 out. We are fortunately housed in the press box today, although this probably would have been the most favorable environment imaginable for calling a game outside as well. With the wind not blowing too hard, we've seen some bombs, seen some dominance from Megan Betts. I guess the question right now is, are the Michigan fielders getting bored? Because Megan Betza has recorded 6 outs, and all of them have come all of them have come via strikeouts. And the one runner who has reached base putting the ball in play grounded it back to Betza with no throw to first. So Betza has handled everything herself thus far.
Luckily, those fielders get to hit too, so I hope they're not bored. I hope that they know what they signed up for by joining this storied program, seeking its 19th Big Ten title this weekend. We'll certainly do so with a sweep. If they lose one, we'll at least get a share. If they lose 2, they might need some help. Don't think that's going to happen based on what I've seen so far. Michigan looking for its 9th Big Ten title in a row, and as I said, it's 19th just in my lifetime alone. And I'm not that old.
Yeah, what happened during the years they didn't win, Shaw?
I don't know. I probably was too young to recognize it.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that even happened. I might have to delve into the record book myself and double check.
Well, it must have been 2007 that they didn't win.
Why is that?
Well, because they've won 8 in a row.
Oh.
I'm just cranking out these numbers, baby.
No, that does make sense, man. I'm supposed to be the color guy, the man with the stats, and you're out here just outdoing me. Looks like we got a substitution. Katie Alexander now behind the plate for the Michigan Wolverines. Doesn't look like anybody else new out in the field right now.
Yeah, it's all listed as the same, although the stat broadcast hasn't updated too much.
Looks like Falk over at first base. I wouldn't be surprised if Tara Blanca were warming up in the bullpen right now. She is the 3rd pitcher in this Michigan rotation, and if there were any game to get some work in, this would be it.
Yeah, certainly Michigan, as you said earlier in the game, hasn't really been tested all that much. They haven't had to face too many ranked teams in the past couple months. So certainly trying to do everything they can to ready for what will be a tough road ahead as they try to return to where they were last year and finish what they could not finish last season. They fell to Florida in the 3rd game of a 3-game championship series. Katie Alexander, Washtenaw County native, Ypsilanti, Michigan, went to Saline High School. Only played in 8 games, no starts, but is 3 for 4 at the plate. So falling in line with the rest of the Wolverines as a high potential hitter.
I think these Rutgers hitters should have a little more success against Betza the second time through the lineup. It's certainly a risky proposition projecting any sort of success against Megan Betza, but it might be a good time to give Blanca some work pretty soon. You can always bring Betza back in. You have Driesinga in reserve, although I'm sure Driesinga is pegged to start tomorrow's game.
Going to be Stephanie Wong, who struck out her first time up, is the Big Ten leaders in hits, though. First pitch, swing and a miss. Bouncing off-speed pitch by Betsa. Catches Wong swinging. Wong with a 372 batting average, 460 on-base percentage. So certainly the bright spot of Rutgers lineup, but didn't look the part in the first inning. Betsa with the 0-1 pitch. Looked okay, but it's going to be ball one. 1-1 count.
That was an interesting first pitch from Betsa. Went 4 straight power pitches against Wong in the first at-bat. Opens up with an off-speed pitch, just dying into the dirt. That's the thing about the second time through the lineup. You're still going to be facing Phil.
The 1-1 count. High and outside for Betsa. And I guess as Betsa may near the end of her outing today, worth just noting she was the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year last season, looking at least up there for it this season. You think she gets it?
It's a good question. Groenewegen from Minnesota has been fantastic this year as well, and she might face a challenge from her rotation mate in Sarah Driesinga, who is 19-0.
Gotta love that combo. Perhaps one of the best in the country. 2-2 pitch on Wong. That's fouled away toward the first base side. Minimal effort by the first base coach, letting that ball sneak into right field.
Man, if I were a base coach, I'd be making all kinds of plays out
it's there. It's your time to shine.
You gotta lay out. You can't just let the ball bounce by you.
I don't want to get hurt or dirty.
You gotta imagine the spirit might have been reduced a bit by the 9-0
The 2-2 pitch high, gonna be a full count. So if Wong is indeed to strike out again, she's gonna make Betsa earn it.
Yeah, she's shown a good eye. At this point, the second time through, you're a bit more familiar with how the pitches all look coming out of Betsa's hand.
Betsa steps back for the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got Wong swinging for her 7th strikeout of the game. And, of course, only been 7 outs for Rutgers, but all of them via strikeout.
Familiarity only gets you so far. I could probably tell you, I could probably be informed ahead of time that Aroldis Chapman was throwing a fastball. It's not going to help me make contact.
Brings up Jordan Whitley, who has a weak swing on her first pitch. Must have been a good breaking ball by Betsa. Make it count 0-1. Whitley with a 338 batting average, the only other Scarlet Knight above 300. Second pitch, high and outside, even the count at 1. 1 on, nobody out for Rutgers, looking to, at the very least, chip into this 9-0 lead that the Wolverines have compiled through the first 2 innings. Betsa with the 1-1 delivery. In there, strike 2.
That one a fastball. I think it caught a good part of the plate. You got to imagine Whitley was looking for something off speed there, or perhaps just didn't feel like swinging.
Betsa with the 1-2 pitch on Whitley. Swing and a miss, it looks like. And she will go down swinging. It looked like a bit of a check swing, but the home plate umpire said, nope, you went. And you will go home.
That's a half-hearted, half-hack. And a ball way up and out of the zone to Jordan Whitley. At this point, Betsa's in these Rutgers hitters' heads. She's just overpowering them every at-bat. The thing about scoring 5 or more runs in 4 separate third innings is that in all the other third innings, they have not scored that many, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And I think this might be one of those innings.
Brings up Sierra Maddox, who also struck out by Betsa. First pitch, strike 1. So 2 outs, nobody on. Maddox, the designated player, has had a lot of time to think about her last time striking out to Betsa. Second pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Betsa, after at least allowing a couple base runners first 2 innings, looks like she's cruising now 1 pitch away from striking out the side in order.
Yeah, that second time through the lineup, not doing Rutgers a whole lot of good.
No, it's not.
Betsa's made her own adjustments.
Betsa with the 0-2 pitch. Got her looking. Strikeout number 9 for Betsa, who is just absolutely on fire. Do you think they send her out for the 4th? Or do you think they head toward Terra Blanco?
Oh, it's such a tough call. at the same time,
an easy decision to have.
Yeah, Michigan's probably going to put up a couple more runs this inning, so it's not like they have a lead to defend or that needs defense, really. But at the same time, 9 outs, 9 strikeouts, it's tough to mess with that. I think that Hutch is going to have a conversation with Megan Betza because she's having fun out there right now. I'm having fun watching her. The fans are having fun watching her. Certainly, it'd be nice to see Blanco get some work in, especially given that she's going to have to adopt a bigger role in the rotation next year, most likely. But at the same time, it's 9 outs, 9 strikeouts. That's awesome.
Yeah, fans giving her an extra applause just in case this is the end of her night. We've played 2.5 innings here at Alumni Field. Michigan on top 9-0, and has been no indication that they won't add to that lead very soon. They've batted around in both innings and have scored 9 runs. So half of the people for Michigan that have stepped up to the plate have scored, and we've only played 2 innings here. Michigan looking already like they're ready for a run rule victory in 5 innings.
I'm not sure whether the alumni band is playing Don't Stop Believin' as a fan favorite or as encouragement to the opponent right now, because this game is out of hand. You know, Michigan, they came to play today.
Yes, they certainly did. It's going to be Sierra Lawrence, who has 2 walks and 2 runs through 2 innings. Not too often that you read box scores quite like that.
I'm not sure if she's seen a strike today. Maybe in that.
I think she had 1. I think it was a 4-1 walk and then a 4-0 walk. Whitney Jones, ERA, just a hangnail under 5. First pitch on Lawrence, a floater. That one's in there for a strike.
You are correct, by the way. It was a 4-ball, 1-strike walk in the first.
Jones with 1.2 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 hits allowed so far. The 0-1 pitch now it's sent to second base. Wong able to field it and get Lawrence. And things are starting a little differently for Michigan this time, starting with an out rather than a few runs.
Yeah, you know, Lawrence, when she has experienced some dips in batting average this year, she doesn't really stop hitting the ball hard. Just hasn't had the luck on her side that time. A hot shot over to Wong at second base, but unfortunately it was right at Wong at second base. A pretty easy play.
That brings up Sierra Romero, who has 2 hits today, a single and a home run. And looks like she's not going to get her third. Another ground ball to Wong. So the Sierra pair, after dominating in the first 2 innings, third inning, not so much. I guess there had to be a regression to humanity at some point.
Everybody can't get hits all the time unless they're in this Michigan lineup, in which case it's, I guess, a little more likely.
Kelly Christer steps up to the plate. She is 1 for 1, also has 2 runs. So you want to talk about getting off to a strong start. The top 3 hitters for Michigan, 6 of Michigan's 9 runs in the first 2 innings. Christer watches strike 1, and she watches strike 2, already behind 0-2. So Jones on the verge of, dare I say, a 1-2-3 inning for Rutgers. Jones gets the sign, comes to a set. The 0-2 pitch, and that is grounded to Wong for the 3rd out of the inning. So just like that, Rutgers puts Michigan's top 3 hitters down in order. And so all this talk of, run rules, and they're still in shape for the Wolverines, but, it just seemed like Rutgers couldn't do anything right. But there they go, a 1-2-3 inning. Nice job by Jones and Wong, able to get the job done.
Yeah, 3 straight ground outs over to Wong at second base. And, again, everybody can't get hits all the time. I guess I should take this moment to let our audience know that if you want to interact with us while we're calling the game, you can comment on our YouTube video. There actually have been a series of comments on our YouTube video. We're always looking at that, always eager to interact with the fans of Michigan softball. You can also contact us, let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Send your appreciation or whatever you want to send our way at WCBN Sports on Twitter. If you're listening to this via YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our page, drop a like if you want. And yeah, we love covering Michigan softball, and it's our interactions with the fans that just make it that much better.
Did you get it all? A lot of plugs there.
I think the spiel is good. I could plug the DSR, but
Yeah,
that's coming to an end soon enough. On the rubber right now for the Wolverines is Tara Blanco, who will be taking the place of Megan Betza. She will be facing in the Rutgers lineup Melanie Slowinski. And Slowinski will be followed by Elizabeth Adams and then Carly Todd. This Rutgers lineup still looking to push across their first run of the game. They trail 9-0 to the Wolverines. The wind now blowing from left to right across center field. As of now, Blanco appears to be the only substitution out there for the Wolverines. The outfield still the same as it ever was. The infield likewise, with Falk still remaining at first base. The crowd still sold out. Can't think of many better places to be on a late spring evening than Alumni Field watching this softball team go to work. So Blanco takes the circle. Her stats on the season, she is a 2.30 ERA, a 1.37 whip. She's thrown 27 and a third innings pitched, given up 21 hits, 9 earned runs, 11 runs total, 16 walks, to go along with 26 strikeouts. Slowinski at the plate, walked on 5 pitches in her first at-bat against Megan Betza. Blanco checks her armband, looks home to her catcher Alexander, steps on the rubber, and gets ready to deal. She winds and delivers the first pitch to Slowinski, fastball about thigh high over the inner half for a called strike 1. Rutgers only 1 hit on the game, that one by Nicolette Aniko. That one back in the second inning on a grounder back to Betza. The 0-1 pitch on its way from Blanco. Fastball misses low and away for ball 1. Slowinski thought about going after it, but thought better of it. The count now 1-1.
And as for the decision to put in Blanco instead of letting Betza kind of have this dominant performance, I think it's the right call. Betza will have plenty of times to dominate teams like Rutgers in the future.
The 1-1 pitch cut on and missed. Blanco blew the fastball by Slowinski, and Slowinski now behind in the count 1-2. Infield and outfield at about normal depth on the righty Slowinski, who's hitting 289 on the season. The 1-2 pitch on its way. Fastball just missed off the plate away, and the count now evens at 2-2. That one a close pitch, but as we have seen all day today, home plate umpire Megan Rabin does not have a very expansive zone compared to the other umps that we've seen. The 2-2 on its way to Slowinski. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Slowinski down on strikes, and Blanco picks up right where Megan Betza left off.
Yeah, nice, I guess, start for Blanco. Just a good array of pitches, mixing it up. Just really similar to Betza, just looking like the better player in the matchup. She had power, she had movement, she had control, she had poise. So well-deserved 10th strikeout for Michigan pitchers.
That brings up Elizabeth Adams, who swings the first pitch, lines it to Abby Ramirez, and she jumps and makes the catch. Maybe didn't need to jump, caught it at about chest height, but it is a refreshing sign to see a ball put in play, and Michigan, their defense up to the task.
Yeah, that was almost a test on Michigan's field. I guess the first test on Michigan's fielders all game. They passed it. They stayed awake, as you said. The question is, were they getting bored? Clearly not too bored.
The first pitch now to Carly Todd, the lefty, misses low for ball 1. Todd hitting 225 on the season, struck out looking on a nasty Betza breaking ball back in the second inning. Infield and outfield still straight away. Lawrence perhaps shaded toward left center. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball bounces about a foot in front of home plate. Alexander can't block it, but it doesn't matter. The count moves to 2-0. Blanco allowing a 161 batting average with 2 outs on the season. Probably a small sample size, but not that small. Still an impressive stat. Blanco winds. The 2-0 pitch on its way to Todd. Fastball. That one misses high at about the letters. On the outer half, the count moves to 3-0 on Carly Todd.
Well, and that batting average against with 2 outs, that to me, that's one of the most important indicators of a pitcher's mentality. How good are they at closing out innings? In baseball, I mean, who's got one of the worst 2-out batting averages against? Justin Verlander.
The 3-0 pitch on its way. Fastball on the outer edge for a called strike 1.
And the idea that Blanco, as you said, it's potentially a small sample size, but the fact that she's able to really just put that dagger down and end the threat, if there is a threat, speaks volumes to not just her mentality right now, but what she can do in the future.
The 3-1 pitch swung and tapped over toward short. Ramirez fields on 2 hops, fires it over to Falk at first base, and that'll do it for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Michigan holding on to their 9-0 lead over Rutgers here on WCBN FM Ann Arbor's broadcast of Michigan softball. I'd like to thank those of you who tune in, and now will be our, I guess, every game trivia question that we will issue to the listeners. And the trivia question for today, please answer without looking at Michigan softball's record book, because that's how I come up with the questions. And if you're looking there, it's going to be a pretty easy answer. But the question for today, as we're closing in on the end of what should be another successful Big Ten season for the Wolverines, how many times has Carol Hutchins won Big Ten Coach of the Year? Zach, without looking, what would you guess?
I'm going to guess 9. I'm not positive, but I think just given that they kind of expect Michigan to win every year, it kind of has to be a surprisingly good season. But she also is dominating every year. And sometimes, I mean, I would think that she is probably the best coach Big Ten softball has ever had. So my guess is 9, because they can't give it to her every year, but they probably should be giving it to her most years.
All right, if you got some numbers, got some guesses, feel free to throw them out there. Either tweet at us at WCBN Sports, comment on the YouTube video your best guess. I guess we'll give a shout out to whoever gets the closest. I've got the answer on me right now, but we will have to wait and see. A pinch hitter at the plate for the Wolverines, hitting instead of Kelsey Susala, will be number 11, Natalie Peters, the freshman lefty. Peters hitting .357 on the year. She's hitting 5 for 14. No extra base hits, as Peters does have a slap hitting approach to the plate.
Yeah, and good call by Hutchins, recognizing that, even though it's not out of hand, this game is a little bit out of hand. It's a good opportunity for Michigan, as we've said, to kind of start preparing the Army for the big battles ahead, facing more top-flight competition in postseason play.
First pitch to Peters, breaking ball misses low for ball 1.
Peters out of San Diego, California, as you said, a freshman. 17 games played, 0 starts, 14 at-bats and 5 hits. So still a high batting average. There really are no easy outs in this Wolverines lineup.
The 1-0 pitch, a hard breaking ball, again misses low. It moves the count to 2-0. Peters has yet to record a walk in her 14 at-bats on the season. The 2-0 pitch, Swan, and tapped over to the right side. Wong Fields underhands it to the first baseman Carr, and the 4th straight Michigan batter to ground out does so to Wong over at second base.
Yeah, she's getting busy over there, and I think she's happy, because if she's getting the ground balls, that means that 1, there aren't base hits flying all over the field. 2, there's not free passes being handed out. So nice job. Credit to Jones. I don't know what she did differently. I honestly can't tell, but she's throwing a lot more strikes, and she's being a lot more effective hitting that lower end of the zone.
First pitch to Tara Blanco, a floater in there on the outer edge for a called strike 1 at the knees. Oh, and 1 now the count on Blanco, who is 0 for 2 in today's game. Sorry, 0 for 1 with a sac fly. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Meanwhile, over at Ray Fisher Stadium, that game, the baseball game, still deadlocked between Michigan and Rutgers. The 1-1 pitch, a fastball, called strike on the inner half, about thigh high. Looked like a good pitch to hit. Blanco maybe waiting on something off speed. The count moves to 1-2.
Michigan, the favorite against Rutgers on the baseball diamond. The 21st ranked Wolverines taking on Rutgers in the bottom half of the Big Ten, but the gap not as big.
The 1-2 pitch fastball just misses off the plate away. Very close pitch for Blanco to take. Blanco, one of the most prolific 2-strike hitters on this Michigan softball team, almost went down looking there. Jones looks in. The 2-2 pitch on its way. Breaking ball swung on and hit down the right field line. That one tailing toward the corner, and it bounces just in foul territory. Would have been out of the reach of the right fielder, Carly Todd, but instead, Blanco will head in from between first and second base back to the batter's box with new life.
Yeah, not a bad swing by Blanco. I'm a little surprised that she's so late, though. I mean, they've seen Jones once through, and they've had a lot of success against her. And I guess, maybe it's just that one pitch, but I would expect Blanco to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more ready to hit, not so behind on the ball, given what she's seen so far.
The 2-2 on its way, swinging a high fly ball deep into left field, headed back toward the track, and it will be caught on the warning track by Nicolette Anico, just in front of that 200-foot sign down the left field line. I thought that might have been gone the moment it left the bat, but perhaps the wind coming in from left field ever so gently knocked that down a little.
Well, yeah, and it was a high hit, so the wind's going to have much more of an effect than it would on a Sierra Romero type line drive. No, a nice piece of hitting and nice two-strike hitting, just wrong place, and just might have gotten under it a little bit too much as it stopped a couple feet shy of the fence.
Speaking of Sierra Romero, I read the back of the jersey way wrong. Romero's turn in the lineup's not for a while. Amanda Vargas at the plate, wears number 12, not Romero's 32. That's my mistake. Anyway,
another pinch hitter.
Amanda Vargas pinch hitting for Aiden Falk right now. Hitting 289 on the season. Takes the first pitch, and it's a fastball above the knees, right down Broadway for a called strike one.
Yeah, and Vargas has a little bit to prove. I don't think she's necessarily going to make it into the starting lineup, but if she can come in and provide another clutch pinch hit, she might find herself a little more playing time at the Big Ten tournament.
The 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball, just missed. Not sure where, maybe off the plate away, maybe it dropped low. The count moves to 1-1, and the sophomore Vargas certainly has more playing time ahead of her as she matures throughout this program's growth. The 1-1 pitch, fastball misses off the plate away, and the count moves to 2-1.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. They had another top flight recruiting class come in, but so few of them, Canfield aside, are playing right now just because of how loaded the team is with upperclassmen. It's just, I guess that's the sign of a good program.
2-1 pitch swung on, popped up, shallow center field, coming on to make the catch is Burkhar from her position in deep, deep center field. And that will do it for the Wolverines in the bottom of the fourth inning. They make a lot of hard contact, but end up going down 1-2-3, and we'll head to the top of the fifth with Michigan leading 9-0. I will take this moment to note that we have received a very quick, correct answer to our trivia question. Listener Katie Ba, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, responded on our YouTube video with a guess of 15 times, and yes, Coach Carol Hutchins has won 15 Big Ten Coach of the Year awards throughout her tenure here at the University of Michigan.
15 victories in 32 seasons as Michigan's coach. That's, you just can't draw it up much better than that. Michigan had never had a losing season when they hired Carol Hutchins, but they also weren't that established of a program. And they took a chance on her, Spartan, with very little coaching experience. But she wanted to get the job done. She had a lot of passion and dedication for the opportunity and has made the most of it. I mean, that's a Coach of the Year success percentage of almost 500. So similar to Michigan's batting averages, that number is off the charts. And very good for the fans of the Wolverines.
Yeah, Katie was actually the first person to submit a guess in the trivia. And fortunately or unfortunately, we didn't have to wait too long for the correct answer. I guess our listeners know this program in and out, which is not a big surprise. So Blanco's still out there on the bump for the Michigan Wolverines. She will face Anico leading off the inning for the Scarlet Knights. Anico with the lone hit on today's game. For the Scarlet Knights, I should say.
Yeah, and it was barely a hit. It's tough to truly call that one a hit. Little ground ball that got away from Betza. I would have called it an error, but I don't make these calls.
I would have called it a hit. It was a tough play for Betza. She tried all she could. It was not going to be a routine play. The fact that it hit her glove, I don't think had much bearing on the play. But regardless, in the end, yep. I think that is the reason that Betsy was taken out of this game. She wasn't working on a no-hitter or anything like that. Only, 9 strikeouts and 9 outs.
Right. Just a one-hitter where you strike out everyone.
Yeah, that's like an everyday thing for Megan Betsy. The first pitch, hard fastball, swung on and missed by Anico as it was below the zone. The count now 0-1. Blanco winds the 0-1 pitch on its way, breaking ball. That one bounces in front of the plate. Good block by Alexander, and the count moves to 1-1. Natalie Peters now out in right field for the Wolverines, replacing Kelsey Susala. Falk has reclaimed her place out at first base, so Vargas taking a break there. The 1-1 pitch on its way. Fastball called strike on the outside corner, about thigh high. Good location there from the sophomore Blanco.
And Rutgers, I believe, needs a run this inning, or 2 runs. 2 runs this inning just to keep the game alive. Michigan up 9-0. Run rule is 8 runs after 5 innings.
The 1-2 pitch. Aniko thought about it. The fastball misses off the plate outside, and the count moves to 2-2. Aniko, a slap hitter, gets a bit of a run up the outfield, has shaded accordingly with Sierra Lawrence well into the left center field gap, far in from a normal position, all the way to the side of the M that adorns center field here at Alumni Field. The 2-2 pitch grounded back up the middle and through the hole. Another base hit for Aniko. She's 2 for 2 on the day for the Scarlet Knights, and she has provided the only 2 hits that Rutgers has attained.
And, you know, you can discount both of those as they weren't that powerful of hits, but the fact of the matter is she's making contact and nobody else is, and very few people in the country do against the Wolverines. So credit to her. You know, she's not trying to sell anybody on power or swing for the fences. She's just trying to get on base, and she's done that both of her times up.
That'll bring up Bridget Carr. The first pitch, a fastball up and in, plunked, I think, the handle of the bat. To me, it looked like it might have been a hit by pitch at the time, but apparently that is not the case. Looks like some action down at Ray Fisher Stadium.
Maybe I'll take a look. Rutgers
looks like a double for Carmen Benedetti as he.
Rutgers did take a 1-0 lead, but my guess is Michigan chipped into that.
Carr squares the bunt, pulls back. The fastball misses high. The count even at 1-1. Aniko down at first base did steal second back in the second inning when she got on base. Plenty of speed, is a threat to go. Count 1-1 on Carr, who struck out swinging her first plate appearance. She tries to bunt, pops up, a diving attempt by Alexander, glances off her glove. Blanco Fields fires to first, and it is not in time to get Carr. Blanco. We've got a pinch hitter for the Rutgers Scarlet Knight. It's Jacqueline Cott. First pitch, a called strike from Tara Blanco on Cott, who is on the season hitting .111, 1 hit and 9 at-bats. She has scored 10 runs, however, which leads me to believe that she's seen some time as a pinch runner. The 0-1 pitch on its way. Cott squares the bunt, pulls back. The pitch misses low, and the count evens now at 1-1.
Yeah, I think with 0 outs and Cott's speed, I think they're really just trying to get a bunt down, maybe take a risk, try to get somebody on base, and at least advance the runners. They have some outs to give, and they definitely need those 2 runs, however they can get them.
The 1-1 on its way. Cott didn't even square the bunt, kind of half-heartedly held the bat in front of her, and the pitch was a called strike on the outer edge. The count now 1-2. A bunt becomes less likely.
RBI double by the Wolverines on the baseball diamond. Now 4-1. So, boy, that happened in a hurry.
The 1-2 pitch on its way from Blanco. Fastball misses high for ball 2. The count now 2-2. The outfield well in, and at least in left field where Christner is, toward the line. Lawrence shaded toward left center, doubting the ability of these Rutgers hitters at the bottom of the lineup to pull the ball with authority. The 2-2 on its way, swing and a miss, Cott down on strikes, and that's the first out of the top half of the 5th for Tara Blanco.
Yeah, if you're caught, that's a tough spot to be in. Those are tough pitches to hit, but you got to make contact. You got to put the ball in play. You're in there for your speed and just to try to advance the runners, even if you're out. As Michigan baseball scores its 5th run and I assume 5 batters, so they're rolling too. But you gotta put the ball in play.
First pitch to Stephanie Wong. Misses off the plate away, and I was going to make a joke, something along the lines of she put Cott to bed there. Cott's not going to rest easy after that at bat, but fortunately I was able to resist at the time. Wong 0-for-2 with 2 strikeouts on today's game. Both have come swinging. She stands in the lefty batter's box and awaits the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses off the plate away yet again. Looked like the same spot as the first pitch. The result is the same, and the count now 2-0 on Stephanie Wong.
Yeah, if you're Rutgers, this is, I guess, the situation that you want. Got your best hitter up, two runners on, but she has not looked the part of Rutgers' best hitter today. 2 strikeouts, lower her average to 370.
The 2-0 pitch swung on a line foul. Off the railing beyond the Rutgers dugout down the third base side. The count now 2-1. Wong stands toward the back of the box, a slightly open stance, holds the bat high above her head, nearly parallel to the ground. 2-1 the count on Wong. Blanco resets the sign, gets it now from Alexander. Winds and delivers the 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the inner half for a called strike 2. The count now 2-2 with 2 on and 1 out for Stephanie Wong. 9-0, Michigan leads the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 2 outs away from ending this game. Breaking ball misses up and in. It was a hard breaker out of the right hand of Blanco and never really dropped into the zone. The count moves full.
Wong, every time she's been up, full count, but she's 0-for-2 in such situations, 2 strikeouts.
She's hitting .409 with runners on and .429 with runners in scoring position this year. The payoff pitch, fastball misses high and outside, and now, instead of swinging on 3-2, she takes the pitch and walks down to first base. The base is now loaded for the Scarlet Knights, and it looks like on that baseball field, things have gone crazy for the Wolverines in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I believe they're up 6-1 now, maybe 7-1.
I think Jamet just went yard.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a month. As good as you'll see in college baseball. It went 4-for-4 on Tuesday. Another couple base hits on Wednesday, and obviously has a 2-run home run to put that game 7-1. Michigan up over Rutgers. So starting to compete a little bit with what we're seeing here at the softball.
Yeah,
stadium.
Especially now that it looks like Michigan softball might be poised to give up a couple runs. Jordan Whitley up at the plate right now for the Scarlet Knights. Sierra Maddox with her 9 home runs on the season waiting on deck. This is the situation you would want for the Scarlet Knights. Perhaps their third inning proliferation has delayed itself until the 5th or something along those lines. Either way, Tara Blanco facing the first real test this Michigan defense has faced on the day.
Well, Betza did give up 2 walks in the first inning, but she obviously wasn't giving up the same contact that Blanco is giving up. But nonetheless, Michigan wants to end this inning wants to end this game soon.
First pitch swung, grounded back up the middle. Romero Field steps on second for 1. The throw to first is high. Falk leaps and grabs it. A run scores on the fielder's choice. Romero tried to turn 2, but in the end just got the runner down at second base in Wong.
Yeah, it looked like Romero tried to throw it almost over the base runner, Wong. Her arm slot was a little higher than usual, and I think the ball slipped out of her hand as it was a high delivery over to Aiden Falk. But nonetheless, they get the 1 out. I think if they trade 1 more out for 1 more run, they'll still be in good shape. But obviously, Rutgers, if they get 1 more run, will have an opportunity to continue the game.
First pitch to Sierra Maddox, big swing and a foul back to the screen for strike 1. Runners at the corners, 1 out for the Scarlet Knights. Looking to scratch 1 more run across and at least extend this game another half inning. Maddox 0-for-2 on the game. 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. The 0-1 pitch on its way from Blanco. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul toward the left side. It ricochets off the backstop and right into the waiting hands of third base umpire, who I believe is Sue Sawyer.
1 pitch away from victory. You can tell Blanco's in a good position. First foul ball, fastball way late on it. Second one, a breaking ball way early on it. So Maddox can end the game with a strikeout here or keep it alive by putting the ball in play.
Crowd stomping on the bleachers. The 0-2 pitch on its way. Fastball misses high. Blanca perhaps a little too amped on that pitch, and the count moves to 1-2.
I'd be too amped. That's exciting. Getting the stomps in the bleachers, getting loud, have a chance to end the game. So
At the
game-ending strikeout.
very least, it changes the eye level. The 1-2 pitch on its way, swing and a miss. Maddox down on strikes. Michigan will walk out of here with a victory, a 9-1, 4.5 inning win over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, setting the tone for the rest of the weekend series.
And a very business-like performance for the Wolverines, batting around in the first 2 innings to put it out of reach right away. Nice job by Betza collecting 9 strikeouts in 3 innings. Can't ask for much more than that. Michigan taking care of business as they should. They should sweep Rutgers. They should get a Big Ten title this weekend. They moved one gigantic step closer to that with their 19th win in 21 conference games. Certainly looking like another season to remember for the Wolverines, and will certainly have the opportunity to clinch a banner, at least for a share of the title tomorrow.
All right, you can tune into that game on the Big Ten Network. We will not be calling that one, but we will be back with you on Sunday, bringing you the conclusion of the Michigan regular season. And hopefully afterward, we will be traveling to Happy Valley action from there. That is, contingent on some transportation concerns.
Yes.
I'm sure y'all are aware it's about a 7-hour drive, but one that we are willing to endure if we can procure a car. But as for today's game, any final thoughts, Zach?
I think look for Betza to pitch again, perhaps tomorrow and maybe even Sunday. I mean, she's just locked in on a roll. You said Sarah Jasenga 19-0, so certainly not a huge drop off there. But I think you got to start preparing Betza, and you got to start getting some of those secondary faces in, because Rutgers isn't much of a test, but the tests are going to come soon. They're going to come often. So important to get ready. They looked ready today. We'll see how they do the rest of the weekend.
Michigan looking to carry momentum from this game forward, but that's all we have for you today from Alumni Field. For Zach Shaw, I'm Morris Fabry, wishing you all a good night and a Go Blue. Thank you so much to those of you who have tuned in.